All right. Hello everyone, my name is Destiny and I am finishing my second year on the JET program. And I wanted to share how first year has been different from second year, and it has been so different for me. First year was so much fun. I was with my friends, I was going on different adventures. But second year was a stark contrast. I want to say this time last year was a huge shift, mostly because of friendships and communities. That was a very big theme for me this year. I realized that I was entering a different journey and stage. So I had friends who were leaving Japan. I had friends who were beginning their master's programs. And I had friends who I realized were only friends for a season and not a lifetime. And I'm saying and a lot, I'm sorry you guys. But work as well. There was staff changes. So very quickly, the community I had built shifted. Like, people were gone, people were up to different things, and I was lost. Even though I was expecting this, I knew this was gonna happen, it was still very difficult. So as a remedy, I decided, well, let me apply to grad school. And at first, I did not think I was gonna get in. I thought I'd be rejected, find out where my weak spots were, and then I could reapply. But I actually got accepted into Middlebury's Master's of TEFL program, and that was online. And I actually had a lot of waivers. So I felt like it was a sign at the time. So for a few months, I was doing really well in school, but I had this feeling that this wasn't something I truly wanted to do long term. And after talking with friends and family, I decided to drop out. And I had a lot of peace about the decision. That was in February. And I realized part of the reason I had applied to grad school was to keep myself busy, to feel like I was also doing something with my time, the way my friends were also going to school, the way my friends were also changing and doing new things. But I realized it wasn't worth $25,000 to do that for something I wasn't crazy passionate about. That brings me to my next attempt was, how do I get more involved in different communities? So the first community I really tried in was JET, really trying to expand the friendships I had. But that was really rough. It felt like there were already groups that were difficult to infiltrate, and there were certain dynamics that were difficult that I had not seen before, because I had friendships coming into JET, but that changed. So this year, it takes me about 1 to 2 hours to go to other events hosted by JET. And I realized for my location, I can go weeks to maybe a month or two without seeing another JET participant, without seeing another expat. But there's some people in my same prefecture who have apartments with other JETs, who are within a very close driving distance, maybe 10-15 minutes, whereas for me, maybe another JET's about 30 minutes away. I'm getting ahead of myself, but for some reason or another, those doors were simply closed. And I took that as a sign that, hey, maybe these friendships aren't meant for me. maybe there's a different door I should be seeking. So I decided to try my local community next. And I had a bit of a bump here, a bit of a reality check, because I thought by this point my conversational Japanese would be way higher. And that wasn't the case. And I had a lot of disappointment in that too. My listening is very good, but communication, speaking, the output was a bump. But I really pushed through. I'm continuing to talk to people even though I know it's bad. I know my Japanese is so, well, maybe it's not that bad, but it's bad. But I'm trying, and I was able to get involved in so many things by the end of this year, including taiko lessons. I was a diver in a matsuri. People let me into their homes. Y'all, if you know anything about Japanese culture, they're not so quick to open up their homes, so I felt extremely honored. And not only that, I also was introduced to people this year who have been in Japan long term, and they really poured into me. They've been showing me different events such as wild boar dinners, as well as plum wine making. Thank you, Craig. And I realized as I was taking inventory of what happened this year, both my wins and my losses, what are the relationships that are feeding into me? What do I want to do in Japan? And I realized I want to stay in Japan long term. And it won't always be easy, but what is a community I need? What are the relationships that are pouring into me that serve this ambition? Because it doesn't make a ton of sense to try and create friendships who might move back eventually. But to have a firm, trustworthy community, I feel like that's where I was being led. And I just want the me to remember that you are capable of so much. I think that's also another big lesson I learned is I was playing it way too nice. In terms of I applied to different positions and I just was not getting them, and I was shocked. And I realized I'm not putting myself out there. Like, I'm not bragging about myself the way I should. And that just, even now, it does not feel right. But it's also, I'm frustrated that the things I really want, I'm not getting because I'm playing it safe, because I'm playing it humble. And I'm tired. I'm tired of, yes, there's enough piece of pie for everyone, but I keep giving away my slice. And Destiny, please listen to me. If you're like me, please listen to me. You need to hype yourself up. You need to be your greatest advocate. And that's what I really want to pursue continuing on, is if there's something I want to take it to, it's okay to keep some things for yourself. It's okay to brag about yourself when it comes to the things you want, especially when you know you are capable. That one was resting on me for a long time. And to have people that encourage me, thank you to all my friends who encouraged me to help me see that, because I really sat down with them and I was like, how come what am I not saying that didn't give me the BC role? What am I not saying that didn't give me the historian role? Why do I know what I'm capable of. I know my history. I know my skills. But when it comes to like writing it down, when it comes to submitting these applications, what am I missing? And thankfully, I'm realizing that I'm just not selling myself as well as what I know I have. Sorry, that was not a tangent, but oh girl. So I definitely feel like second year is a setup for third year. I felt planted. It was dark. I really wanted to get out of the soil already, but it was so important for me to grow roots first. To grow strong roots and connections with the right people. And I feel like because I took the time to take inventory, because I took the time to really work through a lot of those emotions and put in the effort to seeking different types of people, that I can finally break out of the soil just a little bit. And I'm really excited to see where that leads me third year. At this point, a lot of my closest friendships, you know, they're on their new journeys now outside of Japan, and I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so excited for you guys. But now, even with them not being here, I feel confident that I have created the tools to create the life I want here in Japan, however long that is. I want to be stronger physically, mentally, spiritually, and I feel like I really did that transformative work my second year. Second year still had a lot of fun adventures, but definitely it was a tougher year. It wasn't a terrible year, not terrible at all, but there was a lot of transition. There was a lot of work to be done, and it's been a high and low, but now I feel at a really good spot because I took the time to go on that journey, to be in that cocoon, if you will. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Destiny, for really taking the time. And I really wanted to make this video. It was really on my heart. One, for me, so I want to remember this. I want to know how I felt. I want to remember what my ambitions were, what I felt in this moment. And if that can be a help to anyone else, you're not alone. Jet has its ups and downs. It's a great experience, and I feel like it's a great way to see, do I want to stay in Japan long term? And as I don't want to say lonely, but maybe it was more isolating. It was a little lonely, yeah. I felt like I could still do this. I can live in Japan. I can go through these periods. And I came out stronger. I did. So take that with what you will. This is Destiny's Diaries, and I'm ready for my third year as a jet here in Japan. Hope you guys stay along for the ride.